this is getting into the fun stuff. Remember doing 5 rounds. So this is enough that our grip is going to be challenged. We get a lot of reps of watching our sight rise and fall, hopefully not falling below, but that'll probably happen a little bit. The goal is we're shooting the black pacer, so we are getting a good mental rep in of visualizing a small spot. That's what we're shooting to. The big thing we want to work on here is I'm firing as fast as my dot is on that pacer. I'm not waiting. I'm not sitting around. I'm going to shoot as fast as my dot flashes into that pacer. And I'm discerning that it's there, and I'm ripping the trigger. And believe it or not, most people, when they start getting further away, like, this is just how it works. You start getting further away, and psychologically, it's like, ooh, the target's far away. There's like space between me and the target. This gets even more exasperated in an indoor range or like hallways of like schools and stuff. You're in the hallway, and you're like, I think if someone was over here, they'd only be like 20, 30 meters away. You know, or they'd be like 30 meters away, and it's actually only like 10, 15, because the low ceiling makes everything just seem a lot further than it is. So there's some weird like distance psychology that happens, but in reality, my gun is recoiling the same from this position as it is up close, and this is the secret to shooting. This is it. Of all the secrets I've heard, this is it. What you all saw me do with the double drill up close, where I'm ripping the trigger in like a 2-1, and it's like this. Theoretically, I should be able to do the same speed on this target at this distance and get the same group and the same hits. Because the gun is not recoiling more as I get further away. The gun is doing this the same every time. Theoretically, if I stare at that spot, I should be able to shoot that target just as fast from this distance as up close. But I have to make everything happen just as consistently. It will be more challenging because looking at that target is a little bit harder than when it's closer. But theoretically, I should be able to shoot this target 5 rounds in under 2 seconds just fine, because nothing is actually changing as I get further. The gun recoil is the same. I'm looking at the same spot. I'm recovering the dot to the same spot. I should be able to shoot that at the same speed. Most people, though, slow down, generally artificially, once they start getting further away, and they're actually holding themselves back from what they could be doing in training. So the ceiling for shooting that no one has reached yet is one of these targets at 50 meters, and it's literally bang, 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 and the gun's coming back the same every time, and it's all A zones at like 50 meters. It is theoretically possible. Can anyone do it? I don't know of anyone who can do that yet, but theoretically it's possible. It would just be very hard to execute consistently. So what we're doing with this is, we're looking at a very small spot. As the gun is recoiling, I'm trying to shoot as quickly as my dot is landing in that spot. I'm not taking a bunch of extra time, which usually that time people take is like reconfirming their sight picture. It's like, is the sight there? Am I staring at the right place on the target? Is the sight there again? Can I fire? Yeah, I guess my grip's pretty good, I can fire. And you're like doing this mental checklist. That's usually what makes people shoot slow as they get further back. But with training, we can make that checklist happen very quickly, and it's literally just, oh, dot flashes, I shoot. Dot flashes, I shoot. So I'm going to demo both ways. I'm going to demo the slow, like, very controllable, confirm my sight 4 times, do all the normal stuff now that I'm far away, and then I'm going to shoot it the other way, which is, no, I just shoot the paster every time the dot flashes onto it. Using Winchester ammo, my favorite. COVID ammo. So this will be the normal way. We'll see what this looks like. See? Alright. Looks like we're got one little Charlie before, right below the black paster. 2 light strikes, that's pretty good. Come on. Let me grab a mag that works for this. Winchester stock!
Good thing we didn't bring all of them.
You guys want to buy like 80,000 rounds of COVID Winchester? I'll give you guys a good deal.
You'll be able to train malfunction drills plenty.
Oh, yeah, it'll be great. Check out, was I shooting? Okay. The other reason to come back this far, too, is Another distraction that occurs in training is paying attention to where you just shot, and that distracts from what you're trying to do if you're trying to shoot a bunch of rounds to get an idea of what's happening. So most of my training's at 25, so I can't see what's happening. I shoot a bunch, I'm paying attention to what's happening, then I go down, look at it, and then come back. Up close, people usually start focusing on their hits, and that causes problems. So that's pretty good. 4A is a little Charlie off to the side. It's not too bad. The light strikes didn't help. That was a time of 10 seconds. With the light strikes, it added a few, so 6 seconds, let's say. Now I'm just going to shoot this every time the dot's in the pacer. I'm going to fire. Okay, that's cool. All right, let's go look at it. So this is my first group. Oh, it's all A's. Shooting very long range controllably. I'm seeing the dot. I'm paying very close attention. Like, it's there. It recoils. Am I sure it's there? Yeah. Can I fire? I think I can. Boom. I'm good. 6 seconds or so when you take the light strikes out. This is me going, hey, I'm just going to shoot this as fast as my dot's there. I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to take any time. There's no point. I'm just going to send this sucker. This group's better. It's saying 4.5, so the other one would actually be longer. So the fun thing with speed is, we didn't talk about this earlier. Everyone has been told slow down and get your hits, right? I've said it. I've told people, like lots. That instruction is covering up what's actually happening. Like, what does slowing down give us? Like, think about it. What do we get slowing down? The only thing you get, possibly, and this is what people don't explain very well, is what you should actually say to someone. It's not, slow down and get your hits. It should be like, slow down and do all the process better. That would actually make sense. Like, slow down and make sure your gripping right, you're looking at the right place. And the byproduct of that will be slowing down. It will be, shooting the target maybe a little slower because I'm doing everything right. But just slowing down doesn't actually solve anything. It didn't solve anything here. I slowed down and it did nothing for me. And then on here, I'm just like, nope, I'm just going to shoot that sucker. And theoretically, like I said, I should be able to do this in 2 seconds, not 4.5. But that requires a lot of consistency and it'd be very difficult. But let's go do it one more time, because now I will do that. And we'll see what happens. We'll see it full send, 2 seconds. This is the next target. I want to see this one. Okay, this one, with all these deltas. So this will be full speed, full send. This will be one sight picture, basically. I'm going to get one sight picture, or when I like it, I'm just going to send it. And we'll see what happens. You might be surprised. All right. Two six. So here's where it gets fun. Okay, this doesn't count. That's like, this is the problem with head boxes. So, what went wrong? It's not really a trick question, but it kind of is. It's not really. So what went wrong isn't, it's not that I went too fast. I didn't pay enough attention. My left hand was pretty weak. I wasn't gripping the gun very much. And as soon as I was like 2 rounds in, I started paying attention to my dot more than where I was looking, which is why everything went high. My speed was fine. I could shoot this again at this speed, and as long as I start cleaning everything up and I grip tighter, because I have a miss up here somewhere, this will all center up with where I'm looking, and then I'll be shooting at 2.6 seconds at this speed. This is not from going too fast. This is me not doing things properly. This is me not paying attention to the right thing. My grip was really loose on the draw, like it was not as tight as it should be. But slowing down is not the answer. Doing the things right at the same speed is the answer. But that's very hard to that is the mental component to shooting that fries you if you're doing that consistently on the range. Why a range session can really realistically only be like 2 hours long. Maybe 3. An 8 hour, which is what I used to do, pretty much a waste of time. Like, I'm not getting good reps in that amount of time. 2 hours of focused stuff like this where it's like, man, I got to do everything right. I think it was this. I'm going to go back and do it again. My brain's toast after like doing this for like an hour and a half. But the training is so much better. So like y'all train twice a month or whatever it is. Like if you did like range and it was like, hey, we're going to get mentally smoked and it's only going to be like 3 hours long, that would probably be better. And then spend like 5 hours doing other stuff. Cleaning guns maybe. Just kidding. Don't do that. That's a waste of time. So does that kind of make sense? Really fast, but I could speed up because, you know, that was arbitrarily slow. And here my fundamentals were whack, but it wasn't my speed that was the problem. It's just my fundamentals fell apart. It's wild. This is the stuff that blew my mind 3 years ago. And then I was hanging out with Ben Stager and Joel Park. And it was just them at the range meeting. I went, hey, theoretically, you should be able to shoot with no sight, good grip, the gun recoil is the same, and just drill a target at 50 meters, right? And Ben was like, yeah, technically that would be correct. And I was like, okay, well that's the skill cap, is like some insane level of shooting that's consistent. Most people, I mean, we're all down here probably from that, but like that's the ceiling. And when you start training with that understanding, it's great. It's super fun. All right, I'm gonna pace these up. Let's do it. If you need to on your first rep, like just to get your feet under you, be like, you know what, I'm just gonna shoot this somewhat controlled. You know, I'm just gonna pay a lot of attention to my dot being on the right spot. And you wanna do that for the first rep, that's cool. Then we'll start pushing speed, because I want you guys to, kind of like we did on the first drill, no, you have a sight, you send it. Like, let's see what happens. Let's tighten up our grips. Let's play with our grip pressure. But like everyone should be able to smash this target, you know, a lot faster than they think they can right now.